Welcome back, everybody. It's Mob Vlog. Adam Flowers here. It is the last broadcast of 2022, December 28th today. It's 4 p.m. in Chicago, Central Standard Time. Last week, we talked about the JFK assassination, the Chicago outfit's involvement with the JFK assassination. I thought it was a lot of fun. So did Red Wemette. And we got a comment. We did. Brandon, used to like the show when you talked about things you know. Nothing you said about JFK is correct. Really, really dumb show today, boys. Maybe next time, maybe next week, you'll teach us all about aliens in Area 51 and chemtrails. Yeah. So, Ecom Navalis replied, have you seen or read any of the new files released? Everything you've been told, for the most part, was BS. So, Ecom, thank you very much for that. And welcome back, guys. It's Mob Vlog. Red Wemette, how are you doing today?
I'm chipper. I'm doing good.
Chipper. You're chipper. Yeah. I got a question now. What kind of name is Ecom Navalis? Ecom Navalus. Ecom Navalis. Red, seriously. What kind of name is that? I don't even know if I'm saying it properly. Ecom Navalis. You see that name? Right down there?
Yeah, I see it.
How do you say that? Ecom?
You know, Adam, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I don't know if I'm getting it right or not. Who names you guys? Who would name their kid that? Seriously, Ecom, Ekim. What do you think, Red?
I think it's a tough name to pronounce.
Yeah. So you can't blame me for this. You can't be like, oh, yeah, no. You're the butcher. No, blah, blah.
Francie Brady, that butcher boy.
Ecom. Anyway, Brandon's comment.
It's an anagram. It's an anagram. It's backwards.
What's that?
It's an anagram. It's an anagram. He spelled his name backwards.
Mike Sullivan?
Yeah.
How'd you catch that fast? Mike Sullivan. That's not Ecom Navalis. Mike Sullivan.
Spell it out.
Oh my God.
Write it out on paper.
My God. Anyway, Mike Sullivan, thanks for telling Brandon what you thought. You know, let's go, Brandon. Last week was a lot of fun, and I thought everybody on the show thought it was fun. It seems like we had a pretty good conversation, but why not talk about it again? Barnyard. It's not a hillbilly name.
That's for sure, Barnyard.
Oh my gosh. Julie M, she's laughing her ass off right now. And Adam, they have a sale right now in Hooked on Phonics. Thanks, Larry. You didn't know it was an anagram either. All right. Chicago Joe did. Look at this. Chicago Joe, Mike Sullivan backwards. That's
what
funny.
It is.
Oh boy. So it's good to see you guys. And William,
why don't you let him in on the inside joke? Why don't you let him in on the inside joke? Last night we were talking about this. Adam and I were talking about it, and he said, "That's a weird name." And I turned around and said, "Oh, it's not. It's just backwards. It's an anagram." And he looked at it. Can't be. And he looked at it. He spelled it out. He said, "It is." You guys show.
So, Red, it's good to see you. And if you put my name backwards, there it is in the comments. Mata Sriwolf. Mata Sriwolf. Anyway, enough about the names and anagrams, Red. We're here to talk about JFK. And we're here to...
Mine's a heck of one backwards.
Oh, is it? What is it backwards, Red? It's Dur.
Spell red backwards.
Dur.
ETTEM.EW.
Etamu. Yeah,
sounds like I want to go home.
Oh my God. Enough about this. Let's get into the comments. It's good to see everybody. Catherine Guerrero, how are you doing? You missed the show over the last 2 weeks. You got to go back and watch them. Go back and watch them. Check them out. We had some fun. Hit the like button. Adam's going to send you a cardboard baseball cap. That's right. What the hell does that even mean? I'm going to send a cardboard baseball cap? What? Oh my gosh. It's good to see you all.
My name backwards is Gianni Russo.
So Greg Polly watched The Grassy Knoll this week. What an eye-opener.
Very good. I watched it too.
Did you, Red?
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to. I've been busy, man. This has been a busy week for me. Very busy week.
What'd you think of it, Greg? I thought it was very accurate.
Interesting. What did they cover, Red, that you didn't know about?
Nothing that I didn't know about. It was just something that it got verified. That's all.
Gotcha.
No surprises in there.
Okay. Well, good. Did you have a good Christmas, Red?
Yeah, kind of. It was quiet, but it was good.
Hope everybody out there had a good Christmas. And this is the last broadcast before New Year's. I mean, this is like flying by. Unbelievable.
That's the second time you said that.
No, man. I mean,
I believe it.
I'm going to be turning 46 next year. I didn't think it would. I thought it'd take longer to get this old.
No. It only takes so much time.
No, I thought it'd take longer.
Trust me. I know.
Yeah? Oh, to be 70 again.
Yeah. Besides it. I went from 62 to 73 in a blink of an eye.
Completely destroys the government/media version, the Grassy Knoll covers.
Completely. And they're fans, too.
Adamovich. You're a puppy. That's great, David. Hey, that's the great Throdini, everybody. He came out and did the mob tour. I think I had him on here talking about it once. It's good to see you, David. I hope you have a happy New Year, man. And stay nice and warm up there in New York. So, David throws knives at girls. That's what he does for a living. Yeah.
Okay. I hope he doesn't miss his target.
No, he doesn't. This guy's he David, thank you so much. Your mob tour, you're the best. Thank you so much, David. The best around. He's the best around. He holds, I can't even tell you how many Guinness Book of World Records that he has, awards, titles, but he throws knives at girls. They'll hold like the straw in their mouth, and he'll stand across, 20 feet away and throw the knife, and he'll cut the straw in half. That's how accurate this guy is.
That's accurate.
The girls, he ties them up to the board,
Oh, you'd have to. You'd have to tie him to the board. You don't want him to move.
That's the only way you can keep him there. 44. Thank you, David. 44 world records this guy holds, okay? And I'm happy to call him my friend. I'm honored to call him my friend. He puts the girls on the board, and then he spins that circular board, and they spin around. And then he puts a piece of paper in front.
I've seen your act. It's great.
Through the paper, dude. Through the paper. You can't even see the girl spinning. And the girls, they get off the board, and they get interviewed. And you know what they say? They say that him throwing the knives at them when they're spinning around makes them excited. So, yeah. So, I mean, hell, I was thinking, man, I'm gonna meet the chicks doing magic tricks. No, tying girls to boards and throwing knives at them while they're spinning around in circles. That's the way to get chicks. Good for you, Dave. All right, let's get on this.
Let's meet the girl that she sees an ad for him. New Girls Wanted.
Yeah.
What happened to the last ones?
Of course. Need a new assistant to throw knives at because, well, the last one she had to move away, and so it need a new girl.
It's like crack smoke says here.
Yeah, chronic smoke. Yeah, it didn't work with my last girlfriend. Oh, man. So people are tuning in thinking that we're going to talk about the JFK thing when we're not. We're going to talk about a knife thrower called Throwdini from New York who holds 44 world records. Don't know if we mentioned that part. And anyway, seriously, it's good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Rhonda's in the room right now. DJ Legacy. See that? Legacy. Welcome in. It's nice to see you, DJ Legacy.
Hey, Tuna's in here.
Is that what it takes? Honey, let me show you the steak knives. That's what it takes. Street Stories. Must have a sense of humor. A real cut up. Cut up. Oh my God, the puns are flying. Puns are flying like the knives. The movie's on Prime for only $2.95. The Grassy Knoll. I'm gonna have to check that out. Hey, Joe Collada. Happy and healthy New Year, everybody. Good to see you, Joe Collada.
Thumbs up, Joe.
What was the Chicago Outfit's part in November 2nd, 1963, Brad?
They were the instrument. They didn't design it. It had to be designed. First of all, they had to, when this whole thing was laid out, they had to plan the cover-up before they actually planned the deed. And they did. They enlisted Oswald. These were assets of the CIA way before anything ever happened. They had to make sure they had an escape hatch before they could actually commit it.
So you think they planned?
Yes, it was. There's no doubt in my mind.
You think in reverse. They planned the cover-up first.
That's correct.
Then plan how they're going to take him out.
Right.
All right. So I've heard another theory in talking to a few friends since our last broadcast about this. And what he said is that what happened was Oswald took that shot and they heard it, and the agent in the back of the car with the M16 started to react to the shots coming and grabbed the gun, and it accidentally went off. And
except it was an MP5.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't M16. He said M16. You're right, MP5. So that went off.
Yeah, it wasn't the same caliber.
Through the back of JFK's head, and that's what killed him. And it was an accident, so they had to cover up that the CIA fucked up.
You know,
Why are you laughing?
Because I'm saying to myself, you know, it's guaranteed. This is a guarantee. We will never know the truth.
Look, William Kirchmayer, you are correct, Adam. See, even the Kraut thinks that I'm right. And how could the Kraut be wrong?
So could the Kraut be right? No offense,
Jan.
No offense, Kraut, but I'll tell you how you could be. There's so many theories on this thing that I don't think we're ever really going to know the truth. We're just not going to know it.
Chronic Smoke. Was the MP5 around then?
Yes. Yeah.
Must have been if that's the gun that was in the vehicle.
Well, they also had M16s too.
McZag Jan. Was the book Double Cross? Have you read Double Cross?
Yeah, it had some things in there. It had other things in there that were not. That was by Giancana, and it was a good book, good reading, and I believe some of it, but it's a guess. It's a guess.
Okay, Tommy Bridges. For your information, they took all the James Files interviews off of YouTube, which leads me to believe it was all true.
Well,
I watched a couple of those Files interviews. In Red, you mentioned that the other day. They're all gone. They took them all down. All the James Files stuff. Why?
well, he's out running his book right now. He's living in the suburbs of Chicago, and basically the content of that was owned by, I believe, Dunbar, if I'm not mistaken. But he took it down. He wrote a book too, and I believe his family owns a, if he doesn't own it now, a publication over in the Netherlands, and they've gone on for years. They offered $1 million reward at one time, and there is none.
Okay.
Homer Bryant, where was I that day in Dallas, Homer? I wasn't in Dallas. I was in high school, and I was sitting in class at 1:30. They called us and told us what happened. We all went home. We all went home from high school.
No, it was an AR-15. Don Ciccio is saying.
Okay.
It's an AR-15.
M16. No, it's not the same caliber. It's not the same caliber. That Gargano is it's a rare piece.
Gosh, you guys are throwing these comments up so freaking fast that this is hard. JFK, it's hard to keep up with all the comments. JFK was in a convertible limo and the top was down.
And he insisted upon that. They didn't want to do that. Secret Service didn't want to do it. He insisted upon it.
Larry Lapper, don't you believe if James Files was telling the truth, they would have killed him a long time ago? And that's their move.
No. The man that arrested him, Zach Shelton, who arrested him in Chicago, and they had a shootout. He worked to prove that he actually was involved, and he's a retired FBI agent.
Barlight Broker, 9/11, Sandy Hook, Boston bombing, all psyops. I just watched that whole thing where Alex Jones got sued for like $1 billion for saying that was bullshit. The second one there that you mentioned. I'm not saying anything about, because I'm kind of going with, that's probably happened. I mean, I know that thing out here in Vegas on October 1 happened. They still don't know why there was a motive, but what the motive was. And there's theories. There's conspiracy theories. Okay. About what happened. But, truth comes down to it. Guy went nuts and did something stupid shit is what happened. So why? Who knows? Does there have to be a why? Maybe the guy wanted to become famous. That's what I think. People do this kind of stuff to gain notoriety, to gain fame, in my opinion. You know what? They should never even say their names, ever.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Omit the name. The name. Don't make them famous.
That's right. Blur the face, omit the name, and just say crazy motherfucker on the bottom of the screen. Okay? Seriously, like that's what they should do. Bobby
CMF. CMF.
Yeah, there you go. CMF. Bobby Bag of Donuts. The one thing I believe is true about double cross is that Joe Kennedy couldn't deliver. So all the male Kennedys paid the price. Well, we were just talking about this before we went live, that Joe Kennedy, you said, this is the brother, correct? Older brother?
Correct. Well, Joe Kennedy died. Joe Kennedy Sr., he put in John Kennedy, JFK, to run, but he had really planned on his firstborn to run. And as he said to the infamous Howard Hughes said they were at a social club in Boston, and Howard Hughes didn't like him at all. And he said, Kennedy was bragging. He said, my son's going to be the next president of the United States. And he said, yeah, which one, the dead one? And he said, all my sons will be presidents. That's a fact.
Jim Magnifici. They eliminated the Amish drive-by conspiracy. The audio didn't pick up on the clip, clop, bang. Okay, dude.
Thank you, Jim.
Suluk. Alex Jones is right on some things. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying that one thing kind of got him in a lot of trouble. So, I mean, yeah.
Unless you got big bucks, don't go there.
Yeah. Barlight Broker, thanks for agreeing. Yeah, they should never say the names. That's right. Yeah. So I was going to open up a chicken shack out here in Vegas.
Okay.
The JFK FC. JFK FC. Joe Kennedy died in an accident when the plane he was flying exploded after the bombs were armed.
Well, actually,
Joe Kennedy Jr.
He was getting rid of ordnance. He was getting rid of bombs. He was doing a suicide mission, really. It was very dangerous, and he volunteered for it. It was moving ordnance, bombs, whatever, from one location to another location to get rid of them. And
yeah,
plane went.
Hit the like button, guys. Be sure to hit the like button. George Bush Sr., John Ramsey. George Bush Sr. was asked where he was when Kennedy was shot. He could not remember. He was in the CIA at the time.
He lied. He was in Dallas that day.
He was?
Yeah.
Well, why would he lie?
I don't know. Read my lips.
The Kennedys were a crime family. They got dusted by a stronger crime family.
That's true.
Okay. Interesting theory there, Anthony. I mean, it's an interesting way of putting it. David Armstrong.
Kind of simple.
Hold on. David Armstrong, new interviews of James Files are still on YouTube. I have to look into that.
His new ones, where he's selling his book.
The new ones, but not the ones where he's out there on the grassy knoll saying, here's the fence and here's where I was standing.
Yeah, that's up there. That's
still up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the Kennedys had no fear. Yeah, fear's a good thing. Keeps you from getting in trouble sometimes. So does skepticism.
I can attest it keeps you alive.
Yeah, exactly. Bobby Bag of Donuts. The only Kennedy that survived was Ted because they set him up on the Chappaquiddick thing. Remember when the girl went off the Chappaquiddick Bridge into the river?
Yes.
And supposedly...
And 24 hours later, he reported it after talking to a CIA operative who told him, we'll take care of this for you, but Mary Jo Kopechne, they'll never have the autopsy or, they wanted to dig her up. We'll take care of this for you, but you have to go on television and announce that you will never seek the presidency of the United States. And he did.
Really?
Yeah. He got on and said,
that went down?
He made a public statement.
Interesting. Okay.
When they clip him, man. They clip the whole family.
Big Tuna. George Bush was in Dallas. There is a photo of him on that.
Yes,
day,
I told you. Yeah.
Okay, so, but he said he didn't remember where he was. But there's a picture.
I don't recall.
Larry Lapper, didn't the most recent files released a few weeks ago implement the Russians being involved? Let's go into that. Yes, it did.
No.
Yes, it did. It implemented Oswald going down to Mexico and making a phone call to the Soviet Union and taking a trip there, too, if I'm not mistaken, staying in a hotel.
He did that before. He went, I remember him on TV, this back in the day. I remember him on TV, and they were making him out of some idiot because he said he wanted to defect, and they had like a fundraiser on TV. They said, this idiot wants to go to Russia. He's a Marxist. Let him go. And he went to Russia. Mm-hmm. Then he married a general's daughter in Russia and came back.
A Russian general's daughter?
That's correct.
Obviously, I mean, because why would a U.S.
Very prominent
be in
person
Russia?
over there. Maybe it wasn't a general. I'm not positive about that.
Okay.
But somebody very prominent in the party, and then he came back, and that's unheard of. And another thing that even happened with that really bothered me more than anything at the time was Gary Powers was shot down. He was a U-2 pilot.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out that Oswald was stationed he did cryptology and stuff like that. And he was stationed at where they did the U-2 planes. So there was a lot of thing where he really did defect. Did he show he defected? We got Gary Powers back alive. And why did they let him back into the country? If he wasn't an operative, why did they let him back in? You renounced your American citizenship. You applied for Soviet citizenship. Now, why do you want to come back in? And we're going to let you back in? And we're not talking about somebody that had a lot of skill. You know, they had something to offer.
Yeah.
We're talking about somebody who did menial labor from when he got back. That was it. Menial jobs. Here we go again.
Here we go again with what? Carmine left. Oh, shit. Carmine left? You got to be kidding me. All right. Adam Cuss. I got some starred ones. My cousin, Curtis LeMay, was present at JFK's autopsy. Why would that kind of brass be present? Curtis LeMay. Who was that? Who was Curtis LeMay?
I don't know. I really don't know. There were so many people at that autopsy that shouldn't have been there.
The general. He was a four-star general.
Yeah. The Air Force.
He was a four-star general. I just looked it up.
But there were a lot of people that shouldn't have been there. They just shouldn't have been there.
All right. The plane.
Neil, I agree with you. I agree with you. He was an asset.
Yeah. Let's talk about JFK Jr. The plane he piloted was part of Operation Aphrodite. Basically, war-weary bombers were packed with Torpex explosives and flown near a target where the pilot set the autopilot and then bailed out. So bailed out, and then the plane went boom and fell down.
That's Joe Kennedy.
That's what you think happened? Do you think it happened that way? Kennedy.
No.
Did Ted Kennedy have a plane accident?
No.
Okay.
JFK Jr. died in one, but we went into that one time before. That was a kind of an experimental plane. And he went out in bad weather. Went to Martha's Vineyard.
Kind of was.
The Kennedy curse was something else.
Gotcha.
You're getting it too, huh? I'm getting it over here. I'm ignoring mine until after the show.
Okay, so
folks, it's not an inside joke. I'll make it an outside joke. Every time we get on the air, all of a sudden we get texts, we get phone calls, things happen.
Yes, they do.
I don't answer mine. Adam answers his.
All right, Red. Guess who we have on the phone right now?
Jack.
Yeah, we got Jack on the phone. Hey, Jack.
Hey, Adam. Still out of prison, huh?
Yeah, I'm still out of prison. Food in there sucks.
You would know. What's up? What's doing?
Hey, everybody, if you don't remember who Jack is we had him on before when we were talking about the Marilyn Monroe murder and or Marilyn Monroe death, but we know it was a murder. But Jack was very, very good friends with Peter Lawford. Peter Lawford was married to Pat Kennedy, which was JFK's sister, correct?
Yes.
Jack's sister. All right. Now, you talked with Peter Lawford about the JFK assassination, didn't you?
Well, yes, I knew him a long time. We were friends for years, but it's a subject he didn't want me to bring up very often, and the answers were short and to the point and a change of subject. He didn't talk about it much.
What did he say? What did he tell you about?
Well, when the conversation came up, and it did a few times, it always struck me that he never referred to it as the assassination of the president, but always referred to it as the conspiracy of assassinating the president. I thought that was rather unique.
That it was a conspiracy.
Yeah, he always referred to it as that, and not assassination, but the conspiracy, which tells me, of course, more than one person involved.
Mm-hmm. And did he say there was more than one person involved?
I said conspiracy. He did.
Didn't I thought you told me that he said that that the people who were involved were still alive?
Oh yes, yeah. I one night over a glass of wine, I said, listen to him, and I said, Peter, you've got to write a book. Now he had instant access, of course, to the Kennedy family because he was a member through marriage, and I said, you've got to write a book because he seemed to know a lot. And he said, no, I can't write a book yet because everything I know, too many people are still alive, but I've got everything I know on cassette tapes.
So what happened to those cassette tapes, do you think?
I have no idea. Probably they became property of his wife, Pat, after his death, I assume.
Okay. That's pretty damn interesting.
Yeah, see, the day of the president's assassination in Dallas, a Navy jet flew Peter from a movie set somewhere, and his manager, Milt Evans, a Navy jet flew them instantly to Dallas, where he could be at the Park Hospital. Well, Jack Kennedy was still alive, but being operated on by several of the country's best surgeons. And he awaited, along with others, Jackie Onassis and so forth, for the death of the president. And after that, many visits, instant access to the Kennedy family in Hyannisport. So who was the ones in charge of the family at the time seeking who shot Jack Kennedy? And that would have been Attorney General Robert Kennedy and his brother Ted Kennedy, Senator Kennedy. So Peter had access to those people, and whatever the discussions went on in the Kennedy family, he didn't relate any of that to me because he knew I was an entertainer and I had a big mouth and spread it all over the country. You know?
Like you're doing right now, kind of, sort of, right? Hey, who's this Jackie Onassis?
What?
Oh, Jackie Onassis.
What about her?
Was that her name before she married?
No. After Kennedy died.
No, she married Onassis, the tycoon, ship tycoon.
Oh, I heard they had a kid, Savior Onassis.
That's it. Savior Onassis.
Red didn't get it. Right over his head. Didn't laugh, didn't even smile. Savior Onassis.
That's
Oh
right.
my God.
That's why he was ousted from the Presbyterian Church. He said, we can't have a minister named Savior Onassis.
David Adamovich, am I the only one who thinks Johnson was behind it? It was his state where the shooting occurred, and he was the one who became president. Makes Johnson would have got a lot out of him dying then.
I think there were a lot of people behind it. It's not one person.
But I was also, I noticed very often, a few times that the subject came up, and I always brought it up, or it was something over the news we were listening to. He never brought the subject up, and he didn't want it brought up. He knew a lot, and he wasn't about to tell me anything or anyone else.
Yeah.
But those cassette tapes, I've never heard of them since, you know. They're around somewhere.
Boy, to find those tapes. That'd be something.
I would think somebody took some lighter fluid and just burned them up.
They shouldn't be revealed, those tapes, until 50 years after his death. I don't know.
Well, it's been 60 years now since the assassination.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's time to find out where those tapes went. I'm sure they never got erased, you know.
Right. Well,
But it's a subject that he quickly changed the subject on because there wasn't anything about it that someone like me needed to know.
Right.
So
Right.
I didn't. What little I got out of Peter Lawford was a quick remark and change of subject.
Wow. Well, that's pretty insightful.
Yeah.
Pretty insightful. Well, hey, Jack, thanks for telling us all about that. And
Okay.
we'll have you back on again if we have something comes up that I know that you know about.
Oh, all right.
Everybody's
Okay.
happy. Everybody's
Good luck.
happy to hear
Bye.
it from you. Bye. Okay. So there you go. He gets the vibes. Jax gets the vibes off of Peter Lawford that this thing was running deep. And again, when you know the people and you're there and you feel it, your gut's never wrong. It's never off on things. It just never is. So I have a couple starred comments. Let's get to this. Pretty sure ATB Mob. Pretty sure I heard Santo Traficante and Jack Ruby knew each other pretty well. You know anything about this, Red?
I've heard the same thing. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard it. And I do believe, as I said before, the mob may have been involved as the trigger people, but they didn't plan it. This was orchestrated through a government.
Oh, sure.
Different agencies. J. Edgar Hoover was involved in it. He got a lifetime appointment out of it. It was Johnson that said, "You get me in the White House and I'll give you the war in Vietnam," because Kennedy didn't want to have it. What did that do? Well, the industrial complex that Eisenhower warned us about. He said, "Be careful of that industrial complex." He was a general. He knew. He said, "They will take over the world if we don't keep them in check." And Kennedy wanted to get rid of them. He wanted to just basically get rid of them. He knew they were doing things they shouldn't have been doing. Assassination, coups, plots, whatever. They've been doing it. So he wanted to spread them to all four corners of the earth and just get rid of them. Get rid of their whole network.
Bar light broker. JFK Jr. 100% was murdered. Could be. Could be. You never know.
He could be. There was rumors about he was going to expose George Bush.
Trace, it would be great if the American people could hear those tapes and get the truth. Sure would be great. Yeah. Be great if the government just told us what the hell happened.
Yeah, how about they just release all the documents?
Just tell us what the hell happened. We the people. I don't know about that. Barlight broker, the media acted like he could barely fly a plane, even though he'd been a plane since he was a boy.
That's different than flying one. He didn't do too well in his flying. He didn't log that many hours. He didn't log a lot of hours, especially in that new aircraft.
Okay. Oswald was working for Marcello Associates in New Orleans a few months before moving to Texas. That's when he was in New Orleans and he was developing that secret serum, right?
The cancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
The cancer cure. It was supposed to be, but they were injecting it into mice and whatever, then trying to cure them after they inject them. So they had a lot of cancer around, a lot of cancer cells. That gal, she had an affair with Oswald, and she talked about it openly. Those videotapes are around.
Yeah.
And she said, Lee and I did this. Lee, and she never calls him Lee Harvey. She calls him Lee.
Right. He was just Lee Oswald.
Right.
Till the press got a hold of him. Then he became Lee Harvey Oswald. You got to give the full name.
The first time I ever heard the name was on TV right after the assassination.
It's like John Wayne Gacy. It's not just John Gacy.
They never called him John Wayne. They called him John Gacy.
Sure they did.
Or John.
Sure they did. Right. It wasn't John Wayne Gacy. It was just John Gacy. Okay. Tim Peroni. Then you go and you kill 33 boys and you get an extra name. I'm sorry, Shinison. Oswald knew Ruby, Marcello, and Tippett. Oswald
was a wild card. Tippett was a wild card. He was supposed to assassinate Oswald, and somebody else helped him out. He didn't do it, but somebody else there helped him out from the Dallas Police Department, who was a CIA operative.
Marcello hated Kennedy because they deported him, and it created problems for him and all the
Yes,
mob.
they did deport him.
They deported him.
They took him and put him in the jungles. They dropped him in the jungles of South America. It damn near killed him. He got back to the United States and he said, "That's it. I'm in for the ride on this one."
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Chronic Smoke. Kennedy also didn't want to supply Israel with weapons. Could that have been?
That's correct.
A factor? Could that have played into
I don't know if that was a factor in this. But there's a lot of things he didn't want to do internationally that other powers.
Guatemala, Red. It was Guatemala they dropped him off in.
I'm sorry.
Red.
I knew it was somewhere remote.
Yeah, close enough. South America, Guatemala. Yeah.
I know it's in the mountains. They didn't drop him in a city. They dropped him up in the mountains someplace to die.
Crazy. Sounds like they wanted the mob to take the rap for this.
Very much so. Very much so. If anything goes wrong, let the bad guys take the rap.
Sure. Giancana was betrayed by all the Kennedys. They came after him and all the mob. Well, isn't that right? He appointed his brother attorney general and said, "We're going to take down organized crime."
That's
that
correct.
was it's kind of a bad thing. Hey, can you help me get in power and we'll be friends? And then they're like, "Okay, we'll get you some votes. We'll talk to the unions. We'll do this and that." And then all right, we're going to go after you guys now. Kind of stupid.
That's my brother. I can't control him.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Gomph. Oswald helped Files get his guns sighted and with escape routes, but was told nothing about what was going to go down.
That's a fact.
That's a fact, huh?
Yes. He had a range in Dallas.
AT mob.
Dallas, it was in Irving.
ATB mob. Kennedy would not have been elected without the outfit, and that's a fact. Mikey. The Liberty ship was attacked in 1968, deliberately, plus the 6-day war happened and an escalation of Vietnam after JFK. That tells us that Mossad, that's the what is that? The MOSSAD and CIA were involved.
Mossad is the CIA of Israel.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Mossad.
Only they're better. They're better than they are. They're better.
So are they really?
Oh yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Here's a good example of how good they are.
Okay.
There was something about an Olympic team that was in an Arab country, and they killed the Olympic team. For 20 years, the Mossad hunted down each one of those persons and killed them.
Really?
They made it known. They stood up and said, "We did it." We got
Really?
it. Yeah. Brazenly.
Wow. A lot of Americans fell for Kennedy's charm. Glad I learned at an early age how corrupt that family was. Loved Marilyn Monroe. Too bad she got involved with him. Yeah.
That was
Involved
the
with the wrong
thing.
people. That's it. Marilyn Monroe, she slept with Benjamin Siegel supposedly when she was out here in the 40s. That's what she told her.
There's so many rumors going around. She slept with Gianni Russo. She slept with this one.
Oh, she slept with Gianni Russo too. That's right.
She must have a new guy every night.
You know what? I mean,
she slept with Bobby Kennedy. She slept with JFK. She slept with, come on, give me a break. Sinatra. All of them.
According to Chronic Smoke, Mossad is second to none. Wow.
I agree, sir. I agree,
Tim Perrone, great podcast, guys. Great podcast, guys. You guys are talking about things I've never seen on other podcasts. Don't rule out James Files' part in all of this. I don't believe for a second he is a disinformation asset. He could be a disinformation asset to the CIA.
He could be, but he's not.
Okay. Elon Musk could be an asset to the CIA at this point. We don't.
Yeah, he could be, but
we don't know. We don't know. Marilyn, Serta Sleeper Monroe. Bobby Bag of Donuts. That's funny. She slept with everyone. Even Red had a chance. Maybe. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this conversation. It really is. JFK was whacked on orders of the deep state. Listen, this is something else that Red and I talked about. He's the only one besides 45 that could have shook things up enough to expose the deep state.
Deep state.
Mm-hmm. Sure. He had a funny accent when he spoke
in our history.
Well, gosh, how the hell she ever put a dress on without her guts falling out? If she fid, what? If she fid, I have no idea what that means. I'm sorry. So yeah, right. Jesse Araby, I'm Cajun. He sounded normal to me. Who are we talking about? Traficanto?
I have no idea.
I don't know what they're talking about on the side.
I'm not keeping up. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. It's hard.
I am too. They were scared of Reagan. Hinckley, remember? Oh yeah, the attempt on Reagan. They were scared of Reagan too. You're right, Rick Charlton. They were. Sure, and you know that Reagan was something else.
Oh, I was just telling Adam last night, folks. I asked him, I said, what was President Reagan's last words before he went into surgery with an anesthesist?
What?
You don't remember what I told you?
No.
Are you a Republican or a Democrat? That's what he asked the surgeon.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What the surgeon
Nancy used to talk about it afterwards, right afterwards. Nancy Reagan talked about it.
What the surgeon say?
Republican.
Really? And he said, okay, you can put me to sleep and work on me. Seriously?
His wife Nancy Reagan watched the whole surgery. She actually stood there in the theater and watched the whole surgery.
Watched it, huh? Okay, Mikey, JFK was demanding the Israelis join the Atomic Agency regulation system.
That is correct.
That would force them to declare their stockpiles at Demonia, their silo base.
Right.
Oh. So, hey, hit the likes, guys. Don't forget to hit the
hit that like button.
Please.
Only 79 likes in here? Come on. Give us a break, guys.
Serious, man. We got 165 people watching here. Neil Jones. Files was used to muddy the waters, as were other CIA assets. Please try to interview Giancana's nephew and namesake, Sam Giancana, author of Double Cross. Great show, guys. Thanks, Neil. Glad you're enjoying it. Mary Jo and Lisa still run it. Johnny and Vince are, I don't know, you guys are having a side conversation here. Mark Campa, I always thought the CIA had something to do with it. Mark Campa, man, it is good to see you, dude. I hope that you're doing well, and hope that you're staying out of trouble, buddy. Mark's a friend from Calumet City, where I'm from. So, yeah.
Thank you, Chronic Smoke.
You guys should watch A Rich Man's Trick, JFK. Chronic Smoke, thanks for the super sticker, buddy. That's awfully nice of you. Here, Mikey, to this day, Israel has never signed that treaty, so they don't declare their weapons stockpile. So we don't know how many weapons they have. Is that right, Red?
That's correct.
Yeah, we gave them that.
They're an independent country.
Didn't we give them what's it called? The defense system, the Iron Curtain?
Oh, we gave them a bunch of defense systems.
Their missile defense system is like the best missile defense system in the world. Yeah. Okay. Rick Charlton. After Hinckley's father's death, we found out Hinckley Sr. was CIA with Bush.
That's a fact.
So Hinckley, was it Hinckley Jr. that tried to kill Reagan?
I don't know if he was junior or not, but
after Hinckley's father's death,
he went to a psychiatric clinic, and there was some involvement with LSD or drug-induced program.
That runs deep, man.
That's a rabbit hole.
See, Carl Foster, the CIA makes the mob look like angels. This is what it
They
started to
do.
sound like to me. This is what it sounded like to me, man. I mean, seriously, whatever the Israelis did, it worked because now they are on top of everything tech. They are on top of everything tech now. Yeah. A big shot in Israel government. He resigned days before the assassination because he knew what was about to happen. Ben
That's correct.
Gurin. Tim Peroni, thank you.
I remember that.
Man. William Kirchmeier, the Kraut. IDF has nukes. Even lost a TAC nuke in the Yom Kippur War.
Yeah, Yom Kippur.
Oh, wait. There's a lost nuke?
Yes.
Great. When was the Yom Kippur War?
I don't know. Ask the crowd. He'll probably remember.
I'm saying it wrong. Kippur. Yom Kippur War. I have enough Jewish friends. I should be able to say these words.
Adam.
People even mistake me. They say that I'm Jewish sometimes. And I don't know why, Red. I don't know why they would say that because most people know that I'm not, but they say that I'm Jewish.
Francie Brady, that butcher boy.
You got to do that? Father, tune him up, really? It was part of the MK Ultra CIA program. The MK Ultra CIA program. Iron Dome, thank you, not Iron Curtain. What the hell am I saying here, John Wallace? Iron Dome, that's the name of it.
Yeah, the dome was supposed to protect Israel.
Well, it's not really a dome. It's a series of missile
set up so they can dome from any side, any side. If they get struck from Turkey,
they got them all the way around.
Egypt,
anything coming
whatever.
at it, they're gonna, just missile like crazy is gonna go up. But that has to happen anyways. They have to be attacked. It's gonna happen eventually. That's what prophecy says. So, I have birthright citizenship to Israel. Really, Anthony? You can go there and live there? You birthright citizenship?
He could.
Wow. Suluk. The CIA makes the KGB look like saints even. Well, yeah, the KGB. And you know who was used to be in that? The KGB? That's that Putin. He was part of KGB. He was head of it, yeah. That's what I mean. It's crazy. Yeah. Yes, this is all in the Bible. Thank you, P-Dog. It is. It's all unfolding, so, we'll see it happen, probably.
I go along with the crowd here 100%.
Israel believes in peace through superior firepower. That's correct. And you know what? He who has the bigger gun
we do
and
too.
the most guns wins.
Our country
Well,
does
it's
too.
not who has the most guns. It says the most guns and ammunition. Anthony can never be a made man. Ha, ha, ha. Bobby Beckett. You guys are crazy. Anthony, mom is Jewish. You're born Jewish, but your father, no, right? Don Ciccio, you just used the double negative and then turned a statement into a question by saying right at the end of it. You correct me a lot.
Says right.
But
Adam
father,
never
no,
says right.
Father, no, right. Unbelievable. I love it. But the Italians, they do that with their language. So do the Polish. They'll put the no at the end to turn a statement into a question. You like steak? No. That it's how they talk because in their language, that's the way it's structured. So anyway, Tim Peroni, your show is about the Chicago mob. Then you must read Jay Files' book. He was associated with the outfit. Tim Peroni, I've seen interviews. I haven't read his book, but I've seen interviews, listened to him talk, and it's pretty convincing that he was there. Could have been. So, yeah. Anyway.
Well, it's convincing to me also. They found the cartridge that he bit. The fireball's a single shot. And when he had a habit of biting down on it when he was younger.
Yeah.
He was only like 22 years old then.
Yeah. He was young. So
they found that cartridge.
Mossad also tracked down ex-Nazis a lot in Brazil and Argentina where they hid out. I heard that's where Hitler went too. And I'm sure Rick Charles can back me up on this.
When I was a kid, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, Eichmann. Eichmann. They grabbed Eichmann in the south and kidnapped him and brought him out to trial. Never forget that.
Mikey read an interesting story related to the mob in Israel is how Bugsy, Meyer, and other mobsters used some of their criminal money to buy guns in America and send them to Haganah and Irgun, Israeli militants.
Uruguay.
Irgun. Okay. All right. Uruguay somewhere else. Today,
from what I understand, all those guns that they bought, it was Mickey Cohn that kind of headed up that thing. And from what I understand, the ship went out and it sank. Nobody ever recovered the guns, never recovered anything, and they think Mickey Cohn just took the money.
Wow. Great film to watch is Munich about Mossad. I have to check that out.
That's the one I was telling you about. The Munich, the Olympics.
Yes. Oh, hey, by the way, Red, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the mob tour, the Vegas mob tour, it's up and running again. Yeah, it's up and running again. I had Scott out here the other day. Hey, everybody, we just got done with another Vegas mob tour, and I got Scott with me. Scott's from Chicago.
What Actually, part? From Grand and Western.
Grand and Western. See that? Made it all the way from Grand and Western.
It's a great show. You guys should come out and see it. I enjoyed it.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you very much.
Don't forget to pick up your shirt.
You got a shirt, too. It's awesome, dude. Thank you. Hey, Red, Scott's all the way from back there in Chicago. If he can make it out here, anybody can get out here and do this.
Yeah, but he's right from the Grand and Ogden crew. He lives right in the patch.
That's what I mean. That's where he's from. He's been there his whole life. He was telling me stories about going around picking up golf balls for Joey Lombardo. He'd stand out in the middle of the field knocking golf balls around, and he'd give the kids a quarter to go out there and run and get the
That was in the park. That was in the park.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought a book yesterday, How to Make It Big. It was all about money. That's funny. Red, it's been a fun time this week. I'm going to see you next year. I'm going to see all of you guys next year. Have a great day, Red. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
It's been fun. God bless everybody.
Happy New Year, folks.
Happy New Year, guys. A healthy, wealthy, and blessed New Year. Mob Vlog.